All right. Hello, good morning, good afternoon. This is your host, Coach Andrew, and welcome to another fantastic episode of the Because Football podcast. Today, our very special guests are calling to us from Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, also known as the Ivory Coast in West Africa. Today, we'd like to welcome the founders of the Étoiles Naissantes Academy or Rising Star Academy of Abidjan. We have Marc Bruneau and Junior Soulama. Thank you so much for joining and enchanté and bienvenue.
Enchanté, Andrew, and thank you for hosting us for this meeting. It's a pleasure for us.
My pleasure as well. And so to start, could you tell the listeners or the viewers, could you tell us a little bit about your personal story and your first experiences of football?
My first experience as in football, it's been a while now. I think, my first club, like my first season as a footballer, like about something around 5 or 6 years old. It was the starting of my journey. That's my first memories. Also, at this time, I was a huge fan of Manchester United, and David Beckham at this time was the number 7 of Old Trafford. And so I had a lot of posters of him in my room, also about Zidane, Ronaldinho. Like, this is our generation. This is my first memories. Also, the Euro 2000 in Belgium and Netherlands, I guess. France won it, in final against Italy. That's like pretty my first memories of football. Yeah.
Excellent. And of course, with you being from Bordeaux, France, I'm sure that was a huge moment, right? Of having everyone around you, your whole community watching the matches so closely and really being involved. I'm sure there's a big memory. And Junior, how about yourself? Could you tell us where you're from and some of your earliest experiences of playing or watching and experiencing football?
Mes premiers souvenirs en tant que dans ma jeunesse, surtout quand on était petit, on regardait à l'Inter Ronaldo R9 qui faisait des chevauchées de malades, qui nous faisait rêver.
Yeah, so he's saying his first memories, it's about Ronaldo de Nazario, who when he was playing for Inter Milan, phenomenal in Inter Milan, skills and dribbling, and this is his first memories. And he gave him the dream to become a football player. And so I think it's about this period, everything starts for him, at this time.
Perfect. And so Junior originally growing up in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire as well. So a little bit different experience for both of you growing up. How did you two meet each other? How did you come together and get to know each other?
Yeah, it's a mutual friend that we still have today. This friend lived at this time. It's about early 2011, I guess, 2011, 2012. So more than 10 years ago, in Bordeaux. This friend he's from here, from Abidjan, but he studied in Bordeaux at this time. So I just met him at this time in Bordeaux, and like we became friends. And he invited me here in Abidjan in 2K14 for the first time. So 10 years ago, and I came here and I met Junior at this time. And so now it's been like 10 years of friendship, and a lot more to come, I guess.
For sure. Yeah, your story is just beginning in many ways. For you, Marc, I know from speaking about your background, you grew up playing youth football in France, and then you had the opportunity to go to Scotland. To me, that's not the most common path. I don't hear that one a lot. So how did that happen? How did that opportunity come for you?
Actually, I was playing. So I played from my youngest age to the moment I moved to Scotland. It was in 2K14, I guess. It was my first year of senior player. After teenage.
Yeah. Yes.
And I played with a local club in Bordeaux. The name is Arlac, Mérignac Arlac, and we played at a good level, like the highest regional level. and I did I did a good season, some good some good statistics and whatever. So I just had the contact to go to a club there, to do like some trials.
Okay.
I just took this opportunity. It was tough because my family at this time was like, oh, but you have to continue to go to the university, because I was at the uni at this time.
Okay.
It was the first year, but I didn't really like what I was doing at this time at the university. So when they just came to me and say, oh, there is this opportunity, it was just a 1-year contract. I was like, okay, like I have to go. And I don't regret, because I learned English at this time. It was different country, different weather, obviously, different people, different football also, very strong,
certainly.
very physical, very, very physical. And I just like, about the football, it was good, but I just grew up as a man at this time. So I was 20 at this time when I moved, and when I came back 1 year after, it was very different. And I don't regret. I met a lot of people at this time, a lot of landscapes, like beautiful landscapes that I saw in England, like the lowlands and the highlands in Scotland is very beautiful. And so it was a great experience for me, and it helped me to grow up faster, I guess.
Yeah. So no, certainly going from leaving home, right, is so big. Whether you're going 20 miles or 200 or 2,000, it's such a big change. And Junior, I know you had a similar story. Junior, you grew up playing in Cote d'Ivoire and then looked for new opportunities in France. So what was that experience like for you to leave your family and leave your home to seek your dream in a totally new place?
Oui, j'ai compris. En Côte d'Ivoire, ici, j'ai fait l'académie. J'ai commencé par l'académie, ce qui est normal. Et puis, bon, on a notre monde ici, la Côte d'Ivoire. On sait comment jouer, on sait comment se déplacer, comment se comprendre.
Yeah, so what is he saying? It's about he started to play here in academy, like at the teenage. And after this, like he was like, he's a former player of an academy here. And after that, he played like in second division here in Cote d'Ivoire. And he moved in France in 2016. So at this time, he was like 21 years. 21 years old. And when he moved to France, the change was huge, like, because about tactic is like, here the tactic is not very deep, so tactic in France was something else, physical also, technical. So the level was very different for him, and it was a big change, a big move. So he had to adapt himself, the culture is different, the weather also, like everything is different. So so, and he had to go to school at the same time after. So it was different. It was like, I think he made him grow like very fast too. And this is a common point between us. And he stayed in France until 2019. But in 2019, so he was still playing at like amateur or like semi-professional level. But he took a sickness, like a very strong sickness at this time. So he was sick for like many months, and he had to come back here, with family, and he just stopped to play at this time. So it's been 4 years he stopped to play. And so it was a heartbreak for him, but he take only the positive stuff from France, and no regrets also. And like, just want to continue something in football to continue his dream in a different way.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, thank you both for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think I'm sure there's so much changes as people, and learning about the football side too, and growing through that. And it's not always easy, like the many challenges, and that kind of is what makes us grow, what pushes us to reach our next level. I think my next question would be, so both of you had your experiences playing in the game, and you both mentioned, studying as well, right? In university, or Marc, you decided maybe to take a break from university to play. Junior, you were studying and playing football. So that theme of education has really come out, and it's what both of you are doing right now in your current project for Étoiles Naissantes. So could you tell us about your vision for this academy that you're creating in Côte d'Ivoire?
Oh, c'est déjà tout part d'un rêve. Avant tout, c'est un rêve parce que on en a toujours rêvé. Maintenant, la vision, elle est grande. La vision, elle est grande parce que on voit vraiment à long terme.
So I just translate, okay,
Sure.
but I think the same. So so it's pretty easy. So he's saying that, like, first of all, it's a dream. It's a dream, like, it's a dream for us to give a chance and opportunity to young players here and to kids here to have a different way to become a professional or to work in the football industry. So this is the first point. As you said, we did academic and we did football in the same time, and I think it gave us like a good discipline, you know, and a good like mental. So what we want to do with Étoiles Naissantes Academy is to create for this child like a different way, a different approach of the football, you know. And here in Côte d'Ivoire, there is some clubs and academy, they are doing well, but they are limited with the vision, you know. They are just thinking with like the old way, or you know what I mean. And we want to refresh everything. We want to come with a new, you know, a new vision. So we had an opportunity to get some land at the east of Abidjan to build our building. So the construction gonna start in like approximately 5-6 months, and also we want to put a very strong point about school, because it's very important, you know. We know a lot of players, and even us, like after we play at like semi-professional level, if you realize that you can't have like a professional career, what you do now, you know. If you are in Europe or North America, it's okay because you have a background, a scholar background, you know, academic background, so you can start again, you know, the uni or whatever, school, whatever. But here is different. Here, when they choose to play football, it's only football, and it's done after. So it's very tough after to come back to the society and get a job, you know. It's very different. So we want to change this, and we want to say to them, okay guys, it's possible for you to become professional, but you have to handle the rest, you know. So it's pretty this. That's why we decided to create it. And we also signed few weeks ago a partnership with a company. The name is Elite Athlete, and they do placement. Like they take some player from France. Actually, and from the past 10 years, they take player from France and they brought them to the university in the US.
Okay, sure.
And we signed a partnership with them to do the same, but with player here. Okay, so in 1, 2, 3 years, like in the long term, with our academic, okay, like with our players. But now that's what we are about to do now. It's to host an event in December. The name is ENA Detection Days, and we're gonna host like a big tryouts, you know, to be scouted by our staff and to get the chance to get a scholarship to go in the US. Yeah, so we created this, and it's a first way to change stuff here, you know, because this is the first time here in West Africa people do this, you know, about the US. They already did the link with the Europe, you know, and with professional football, but with academic
football.
First.
Yeah. So I think the first thing that I would like to know is just to see a little bit more the current reality, right? So thank you for sharing the dream and your long-term vision and goal. But you mentioned the academies in Cote d'Ivoire. They are developing many talented players. I mean, we can look at, you know, players playing now in Europe and past success in the last 10 to 15 years, all the players that Cote d'Ivoire has developed. But you mentioned that old way. So is that just like a focus just on the football and just the footballer and not the person, not the student? Like, what does it look like in a normal academy or junior? What did you experience in your academy as you grew up playing in Cote d'Ivoire?
Je dirais à l'époque, surtout à notre temps, c'était vraiment pas facile parce que les infrastructures vraiment très, très, très à l'ancienne. On s'entraînait sur des terrains qui n'avaient même pas un fil de gazon. C'était compliqué, c'était que du sable.
Yeah, it's what he says. It's tough here. It was tough at this time. It was tougher than now because about, like, first of all, it's about infrastructure, fields, no grass, only red. What is the
like
name?
Clay, right? Yeah, clay or dirt. Yeah, like red dirt, red clay.
No grass, no no changing rooms, nothing that in like Europe or North America. It was very different. It was very very different, and it was also, it was like, if you come from a family with education, it was not good for parents to play football. Like,
they didn't think it was important, right? They wanted you just to study, not be distracted with the football and play.
Exactly, yeah. And it's still like this now, but less, because the generation changed, and like people who are parents now, they are like 30, 40, whatever, and like they grew up with some example of some success stories about athlete or whatever. So now it's a bit different, but at his time, like, if you play football or if you want to do a like professional career, like, come on, what are you thinking? Like, you're like, you have a good education, you have chance to do some studies, so like go do studies, and we want to change this mindset. We want to change it, and we want to prove to everybody here that it's possible to become a good athlete, a professional athlete, and to have something in the mind, and something in the brain. So it's a fight. It's a good fight because like we have to do it. And so it was tough for him and tough for everybody here in West Africa, not only in Ivory Coast, but in West Africa and in Africa in general, because there is a lot of dream seller here, dream seller,
right?
Fake agent, fake academy, fake club, fake whatever, and they just played with the mindset of youngest, and we want to change this. It's a long fight, it's a long way, but with many different academies and different clubs and different actors of football here, we are changing it. There is some good clubs here and good people here. They are doing great job too, and we want to continue. Now you're gonna come in January, you're gonna see some good pitches, good fields, good infrastructures, but they did it for the CAN. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They did it for the CAN. They did it because they're hosting an event. But before this, nothing was there. Nothing. Just like a big stadium for the national team. But example, in the first division here, every clubs, they are playing in one stadium. Like, in one stadium. Can you imagine? Like, it's like if the MLS club, they all play in Philadelphia.
Sure.
So there is a missing, a miss about this, but it's changing. Like there is some old players, like old glories, like Didier Drogba, like Yaya Touré, Gervinho. Like they are trying, and they are doing a great job here, and they are trying to to change stuff here also. So like we have to continue, and I think in many years it's going to be different.
What you say in French, you say CAN, but for English is African Cup of Nations. Coming up in a few months here in Ivory Coast. Cote d'Ivoire will be the host. And so you mentioned some of those projects. This is something I was certainly I was wondering about. I was curious about. I know that they have the new stadium, right? They built a new stadium in Abidjan, many other cities. have they also been investing in more of the youth or the grassroots level, or has it only been like that top, basically only what the cameras will see, or did they use some of that investment to improve like the roots and of Ivorian football?
They did both, but at different time, because they did for African Cup of Nations, they did big stadiums and like big how can I say it, like big village for host teams and whatever, so okay for that. But they, many years before, like I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, they did some pitches, like small pitches, like in different neighborhood of the city. They did some mini pitches to play for the young, for the kids, for the child, for the teenagers. They did it. So this is a good point. But it's not really structured, like it's not for clubs, it's for fun. If you want to play with friends or whatever, you can go there, take a ball and play, so it's better than nothing. But it's just for like everybody, like it's not for a club or for academies, or it's not a program for this. But it's good because like it gives some pitches for the younger, so to play. So it's a good idea, and the name is Agora.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is many agoras here and in the city, but you're gonna see it if you come. You're gonna see it. It's pretty good, and a lot of kids play there.
Yeah, I think that I was looking around Instagram and trying to find different places, or I'm on Google Maps and looking for things, and I noticed some of these small turf pitches. But then I see some players and academies just playing in dirt or in sand as well. For the U.S., I feel like we're very fortunate with many of our facilities because of the infrastructure we have, and the investment that clubs can make, and like governments and townships. Are there any benefits that help you as a player by playing in sand, by playing in dirt, that actually help you as a player, do you think?
Yeah, it gave some benefits to play on dirty pitches with no grass and whatever, because like example, they start to play without shoes, without shoes. So the relationship with the ball is so different. Like, to juggle without shoes, to play matches without shoes, so you have to protect your feet about tackles and whatever. So you play differently. You know what I mean? But also it's taking off some benefits, because when you arrive in Europe, example, it's so different. Like it's so different. The ball is going fast. The way of playing is very different also. So I think it's both. Like it gives benefit, but it take off some.
If we switch back to your project for Étoiles Naissantes Academy, the Rising Stars Academy, you're starting construction of the building soon. You're having trials in a month or two to get players who could be a good fit for that. What is your dream in, like, what does the academy look like in 5 years, right? Or in 10 years? Like what is your kind of dream of what it can be in the future?
Yeah, the vision and the dream, it's to become a reference here in Africa, and for that to form very good players, very good players. It's to be established here and like to be known here, So this is the first point. To give to players like women's or guys, to give them the opportunity to go to stay here first, to form themselves and to be at the same level with European players or North American players when they go there finally to play professional. This is what we want, to form them, to at the same level. So for this, we have to give for them some good like, how can I say it, good pitches, good infrastructure and good academics skills and whatever. So this is the dream. Also, in many years, when we're gonna be stables and whatever, we want and we hope to become like a football club, not just an academy, like to play in first division here, and to give the chance to our players who are not able to go outside. They can live of football, but here in the country. So this is a part of the dream also. And also we want to form players, football players, that's true, but also we want to form coaches, we want to form like physiotherapists, we want to form football managers, we want to sensibilize people to different jobs around the footballer. You know what I mean? And here it doesn't exist. Like it doesn't exist. Like it's unknown here. So we want to, and we're gonna create some partnership in Europe or whatever to give some opportunities to the younger. Okay, for them to know. Okay, it exists. We can be coach like you, Andrew. We can be I don't know, like sports journalist. We can be like referee. We can be whatever around. So if you don't sign a professional contract, it's not done. It's continuing. Exactly. So yeah.
So then for the academics, the studies, will it be focused just on like sports careers, almost like a technical school, or will you have a more broad curriculum that will help a player maybe get to university in the United States or in Europe? Because I'm sure the education standards, the academic standards will be different a little bit for each of those. And then, of course, for the United States, you have the aspect of English, right, of a foreign language. So what's the plan for your staff, your teachers, your faculty, to build that part of the academy?
We actually are talking with a school here who is known for his good job, and they give academic in French and in English, and diploma are known, and they are allowed in Europe and in North America also. So we want to create a partnership with them, So we're gonna give to our players the academic in two sides, like European and also North American. So if after this they want, after the certificate, whatever, they want to go outside, it's gonna be possible because we have partnership first, and also because they have the level. They can pretend to get a scholarship. They can pretend to to get anything because they are well. How can I say it?
Like well-rounded, many different skills or knowledge of different areas. Yeah.
Because the problem now is about African players. They know how to play football. There are some really, really good talents here. Like when you're gonna come, you're gonna see there is some really, really good young players. But the problem is outside of football. You have to teach them a lot of stuff. You have to do the education. The well-being. The mental health also. Because for some of them it's tough at home, so it's a whole process, and it's a big job for us to take some of these young guys and to bring them at the top level. And so we want to give them example. To speak English, it's a very, very good skill, important skill now. If you want to travel, if you want to go to play, you can play football everywhere.
Business, it's just the language of business, right, around the world.
Exactly. Exactly. So you have to speak it. And example, Junior, he doesn't know English. Why? Because he didn't have any how can I say it, at the academy, no English courses. No English courses. So that's why it's tough for him now. And he pays it now. But if you teach to kids at 11, 12, 13, whatever, English, they're going to keep it, they're going to keep it, and they're going to have a good level. So this is just an example we are talking about English, just an example, but it's the same with different stuff, and that's our goal to create a good like atmosphere around the players and around the youngers, to help them, to improve. Yeah. So
perfect. Yeah, I think that to me is what sounds really exciting. The academic part, the developing of skills, because of course, like you said, it's not really a problem to develop talented footballers in Cote d'Ivoire. There's no lack of talent. From what I've been learning and talking to people in African football, it's more the opportunities, to give them. Like you have all this talent, but there's no opportunities for them. They don't have a clear way to get there. Or it's like after the football, right? Like if they get an injury, right? Or like Junior, you know this, right? You had illness and your body can start to break down from being a footballer. Like, and even if you have a great career for 10 years or 15 years, then when you're 30 or 35 years old, it's like, what do you do now, right? You have no skills. What do you have to offer, right? Yeah,
exactly. So we want to change this, and because there is a lot of like you're talking about a good point. You said after career, because I was talking about people who are not able to do a career, but there is some who they played, and like they spent like all the money is done, all the money is gone, example.
Exactly.
So we also want to advertise people to say, hey guys, like you have to handle your money, you have to know how to handle it, so it's about teachers, it's about courses, about how can I manage my money and like invest my money also. So being an athlete, it's a big stuff, it's not about the pitch, it's everything outside the pitch. Now the same with social medias, the same with the press, the same with everything.
Absolutely.
So you have to form them, and we met a lot of former old players. Now they just turned 40, 41, 42, and now they are trying to do something now, but it's tough, it's tough without a lot of money, without a lot of skills, it's tough. So yeah, it's about that. We want to change this.
Yeah. And you've been saying, this is such a new idea in Cote d'Ivoire and in many cases in West Africa, to do an academic and athletic project like this. When you speak to people in Abidjan and you go to potential partners, or you talk to football clubs and schools, what do people say? How do people react to your dreams?
Vraiment, tout le monde est unanime que ce projet-là va finir par marcher. Ils sont impatients même dans ce truc, à attendre ce projet.
So he was saying, people here, when we are talking about the project and what we want to do with this project, they take it positively, they take it good, because they need it, they need it, they need a different way to see football also. And like everybody said it's a good idea, it's tough to do it, it's tough to get funds to do it, it's tough to get like the money to do it and to change mentality. But if you success, it's going to be very good for us, because they need it, they really need it. So yeah, they take it positively, and some of them, they just say we are crazy because because when you want to change stuff, people, there is always some people they don't trust you, but Côte d'Ivoire now is developing a lot, and we want to put Côte d'Ivoire like on the map, in Africa, to say there is like some people here, they do a great job, they do well with the young, as you can see in Morocco now. Morocco, they took benefit from the Academy Mohamed VI Academy, the King Academy. They took benefit because they created like maybe 10 or 15 years ago, and they took benefits now. Some, like I think 6 or 7 players of the last team who was in the World Cup in Qatar. Look at the result, because they invested in football. They invested in the young players, and now they just get the benefits. So it's an example for us in Africa to do the same, because we have the talent, but we don't have the structure. So
right.
So we are trying to do it, yeah, and people take it positively for the most.
And actually, you bring up the example of the Mohammed VI Academy. For those who don't know, it's a residential football academy that the King of Morocco started in Morocco and has had fantastic effects now, really showing the impact, really showing the successful outcome. At the beginning of our conversation, when we started today, I asked some of your first experiences of football, and you talked about the players that inspired you, right? Your heroes. So who are some of the heroes, the role models, other projects, other models like this that you have seen that you want to be able to copy and you want to learn from?
Yeah, so I don't know if you know Jean-Marc Guillou.
Yes.
It's a French coach. I think it's he is like something around 80 years old now, but he did a great job for all his life, for his whole life, here in Africa and also in Asia, in Europe. And he formed a lot of players like who became stars, and it's an example for us because he did it here in Ivory Coast in Cote d'Ivoire. So he's an example. Also, as I said before, Morocco is an example. Also, in Senegal, there is some good academies in Senegal. They
Génération Foot, right?
Sorry?
Génération Foot.
Génération Foot, Diambars, Dakar Sacré-Cœur. There is a lot of good clubs there in Senegal. So there is also PSG, who brought an academy in Senegal recently.
Okay. I've seen that.
So for Africa, there is also the TP Mazembe in DR Congo. They are doing a great job also there. And I know there is some, in Africa also. I don't know everything. We don't know everybody, but there is some. But if in Europe, obviously, like there is the best academies there. So it's always an example for us. North America too. The US also, because it's pretty recent for you guys to work in football, in soccer, in football there, and you are trying and you're successing, gets the difference that you have with Europe. Example, you are working years by years, to get closer from them. So I think it's a good example too. Example like with the soccer, like university soccer, like NCAA, stuff like this.
Exactly.
Also,
exactly.
Yeah. Also with the MLS youth, like MLS 2, MLS Next Pro. So there is, good ideas I take off from them because I was in Canada for the past 4 years, and I was able to see it by myself, and people always talking about that in Europe. People always talking about MLS, and I was like, calm down, guys. There is some good players there, If you look at it like very deep, there is some players, young players now, 18, 19 from FC Dallas or whatever. They go to Europe now,
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not nothing. Like it means that they work well. So you have to put a respect on the MLS, And so that's why also we signed a partnership to send some players there because they work there, and as you said before, they give very, very good facilities to players, like sometimes better than professional clubs. Yeah. I can testimony of it. When I was, I think it was in 2K15, I did some trials with Sporting KC. So I didn't sign with them, but I did some trials for like a few days or a week. I can't remember, but I was impressed about the facilities. I was impressed. Like honestly, it was better than some professional clubs in second division in France. So we have to take a bit from everybody and to try to do our food here in Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah. Well, first, thank you for the respect for MLS. I think it has grown tremendously, a lot. But yeah, you mentioned FC Dallas, my favorite club here, Philadelphia Union. We've been producing players that have gone to Europe recently, to teams like Eintracht Frankfurt, right? We have Paxton Aronson just went to Frankfurt. We have Brendan Aronson, who's playing for Red Bull Salzburg, and then Leeds, and now he's with Union Berlin. We have Marc McKenzie is playing in Belgium. Austin Trusty, who was bought by Arsenal. I think he was at Birmingham City now. So, there's definitely a lot of talent coming out, but I think the thing that really matches your goal and your vision with Étoiles Naissantes is the academic side, because that is so normal for the United States. Like, that is the system, right? Actually, the professional academies, the MLS academies, they are the new change, right? And so they're unique because it's kind of a new idea. But for decades, for 50, 60 years, our system in the United States is you play with your local club, you play high school, which now it's changing a little bit because of the MLS Academy. So the best players do not play in high school anymore. Then from there, you go to university, and we have all the different levels of university. We have junior colleges for like 2 years. We have 4-year colleges. Some you can get academic scholarships. Some you get scholarships for athletics because you're such a good player. And then maybe from there, professional. And it's interesting because in the United States, we have the discussion of, the old traditional system is not working because we're not producing enough good players, because for university in the United States, you start when you're 18. So like 18 to 22, 18 to 23. And that's like the key age to become professional. So and the university season is only 3 months. It's not like a full professional season. So there's criticism of that. But then on the positive side, players who go through that, they have a career, they have great opportunities academically. They can earn, and like you said, the facilities of some of the schools are unbelievable. They're amazing. And they're getting the academics and they're getting the university side to then have a life outside of football. So I think that, maybe there's maybe a lot can be learned or gained, for you with your new project.
Of course.
To learn from the United States model too. So almost finished here. I think my final big question about your project and the academy that you're starting is, it's still very new. It's still very much like a baby in your mind, right? It's your precious child you're protecting, and you're trying to feed it and trying to grow. But I'm sure still so much has happened. So what is the number one thing that you have learned so far in your journey to start the Étoiles Naissantes Academy?
Keep the faith and still working, never back down, and you have to, you always gonna have some people who gonna try to stop you, but you have to stay strong, and you have to believe in your project, and continue whatever you want to do in football. If you believe in it and if your project is good, continue, keep the faith and continue. So I think that's what we learned from the 2 past years. We don't regret. No regrets.
No, certainly a very exciting project, a very exciting opportunity, but certainly with challenges, right? Anything worthwhile will have those challenges. So perfect. Marc and Julia, merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. My final question, it's not really a question. Could you complete the sentence? Could you finish the sentence? Because football, or I'm going to say this wrong, but parce que le foot. So because football, ...
Il faut finir la phrase. Because son podcast c'est because football, ça veut dire parce que le foot. Et il nous demande de finir la phrase. Parce que le foot, ça fait quoi? Parce que le foot quoi?
Parce que le foot procure assez de plaisir.
Because football gives to us the biggest pleasure. But for me, because football is life. Because football is life. Football can give you everything. If you take it in the good way. So because football is life. Honestly, that's it. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you both so much. Merci beaucoup. I can't wait to connect more and to see more of your project. For everyone watching and listening, I will include the links to both Marc and Junior's LinkedIn, to the Academy's LinkedIn and website. So if you're interested in learning more and watching their progress, please do. But yeah, it was such a pleasure, and I appreciate you sharing your project and your stories with us.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew, to give us the opportunity, and we can't wait to welcome you here in Abidjan in like 2 or 3 months. So we keep in touch, and we hope to meet you there. So thank you very much for your opportunity to talk with you today, and I wish you like the best for the best to come. Yeah.
Merci encore, Andrew, parce que ça fait un plaisir de pouvoir discuter avec toi. C'est mon premier podcast et ça s'est bien passé. Donc, j'espère qu'on pourra le refaire, je sais pas, à l'avenir. Et puis, tu pourras aussi venir visiter la Côte d'Ivoire, ça serait pas mal. Donc, en tout cas, merci encore. Et puis, je pense qu'on se dira à bientôt.
You understood something?
Little bit, yeah. I can't wait to visit. Yes, je suis excité.
Oui, excité, yeah.
Yeah, perfect.